Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Corner. It's that time of day again, time for Andy's HVAC Tech Tips of the day. Today's tech tip is number 26 if you've been counting. If you have not been counting, then go ahead and go back and check the channel out and see what all's on there, because there's all kinds of tech tips and a bunch of other stuff too. So while you're there, why don't you go ahead and subscribe and hit that little bell icon, that way you get notifications every time a new video comes out. These tech tips, I try to do them pretty regularly, so make sure you hit the notification, that way you see when the new ones come out. But today's tech tip, I just wanted to talk a little bit about verifying your diagnostics. Because, we go out and we look at a furnace, let's say furnace, air conditioner, whatever it is. We go out and look at it. When we make our diagnosis and then we make our explanation of repairs to the homeowner, don't you think we want to be sure? I mean, I know there's plenty of times where we go to do something and we're not 100% sure and we have to try something to see if it works. I get that. I'm not down in that at all. But, in our line of work, in our industry, I think we have service techs and then we have parts changers. Me personally, I do not want to be a parts changer. What I consider a parts changer is that guy or girl that goes out there and looks at a system and says, okay, well, it's doing this, so it's probably this, or it's probably that. Or they go through and they put one part on, well, that didn't fix it, so they go ahead and try a different part. Well, maybe that didn't fix it, so they try again, and maybe they get lucky on the third or fourth part, something like that. And what really burns me is when I see parts changers that put parts on, and if they're wrong, they don't put the original part back on. Because sure, maybe it's a part that needed to be replaced, and maybe it was worn, maybe it was something wrong with it and it legitimately needed it, then okay, that's fine. But if you're not verifying your diagnosis and you're just putting parts on it until you get lucky and finally find the correct part, I mean, really, you're not doing the customer justice if you leave all those other parts on there, because chances are they probably didn't need that. If it was just a matter of you were just replacing parts until you found the right one, we don't want to overcharge our client, because that leaves a bad taste in everyone's mouth. And, me personally, I want to be able to sleep at night. So, I'm a big believer in we need to verify our diagnosis. If you see burners on a furnace, the furnace won't light for some reason, don't automatically just put an igniter on it. If you see a blower won't come on, don't just automatically pull the blower and put a new motor in it without checking anything. I've said before that our meters are our best friends, and if we're not checking, then we're just guessing. So, get that meter out and actually check things. Actually look for voltages, chase down, we all know how, a system works. If you're working on a furnace, you make sure you got power. Make sure you got power to the thermostat. Make sure you have a call from the thermostat. If you got a call from the thermostat, make sure you have it at the board. If you got it at the board, make sure the inducer starts. If the inducer starts, make sure the pressure switch closes. If the pressure switch closes, make sure the igniter comes on. After the igniter comes on, the burners have to light, and then the flame sensor has to be able to detect a flame. And then the blower comes on, and so on. So, a little choked up. That was a little too fast. But either way, we know how a furnace works. We know how a furnace is supposed to work. We know how our diagnostics should go if we've been trained well, if we've practiced at our craft, if we have, managed to figure out what we're doing out there. I mean, I get it that there are plenty of times that maybe we are not 100% sure if that's the problem. We deal with a lot of electronics these days. So, there's a lot of different things that can be going on, and not everything is textbook. I've talked about that before too. I mean, a lot of our stuff that we deal with every day is not textbook kind of stuff. But, the basics are. So, make sure, don't skip steps and just say, oh, it's probably an inducer. Oh, it's probably low on Freon, or it's probably this, or it's probably that, because it's probably what your meter or whatever your tools that you should be using, it is what they say it is. Because you can't argue with facts. So, but without checking, you don't have the facts to go back and say, okay, this is what it is and this is why. Because that's the other side to it. I'm a big believer that if we do find a failed part, usually there's a reason. There's usually a reason that it happened. There's usually something that has caused it that we need to find to make sure that the problem's not going to happen again. So, there's a lot of different things that go along with that. So you just need to verify everything that you're doing and actually check things, because if you're not checking, then you're just guessing. And who wants to be a parts changer? You know, I want to know that I know how to do my job. I want to know that I'm doing the best service for the homeowner. I want to make sure that, you know, I'm fixing their system accurately. I don't want to be a parts changer where I just keep throwing parts at it until eventually it works. I mean, think about going to a garage or shop or dealership and having your vehicle worked on. You want to take your truck in and they say, oh, well, it's probably this $1,000 part. If that's not it, it's probably this $2,000 part. If that's not it, I will put the $25 part on it and that'll probably take care of it. Well, at this point, you got a lot of money wrapped up and all you really needed was the $25 part. I mean, hey, let's be honest with ourselves. Dealerships never only charge $25, and heating and air guys never only charge $25 either. So, you know, all this stuff is expensive. Our industry does cost a lot of money to have an efficient, well-maintained, well-running piece of equipment. I mean, that's just the facts in our industry. So if we are going to diagnose a problem and we are going to be charging that customer for that repair, we need to make sure it's the right one the first time. So just always make sure you check, because like I said, I don't want to be that parts changer. I want to be a service tech, and I want to know that I'm doing the right thing. So you know, I see a lot of these videos out there on YouTube that say number one cause for a furnace failure, number one cause of an air conditioner failure, or if your air conditioner quits, just do this. If your furnace quits, just do that. You know, it's never just that. And what the most common problem is not always the problem that you're working with. So you need to make sure you verify what your problem is. Like I said, your meter's your best friend. Make sure you use it. Make sure you always have it, and you know how to use it. That's another big thing there. So that's all I wanted to get out there today. So any questions, comments, whatever, leave them down below. Otherwise, make sure you subscribe. Check me out on Instagram at Andy's Corner 1. Also hit the bell icon so you get notifications every time a new video comes out. Thank you and God bless.